Welcome back, Guys in Jerseys podcast number 5. Trevor, a lot of crazy stuff happened this week in sports.
That's true.
A lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Let's start out with Duke losing to North Carolina. I predicted on the show Monday.
Yeah.
You guys looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to lose Zion or not. Blowout shoe. I mean, we acted like we've never seen one of those before.
That's true.
I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue that if Zion was in the game, they probably would have won because would they lose by 16? I feel like he scores more than 16 points, and I feel like they have a bigger presence down low, so Luke May doesn't snap off like he does.
Yeah.
But what do you have? Almost 30?
Yeah, Luke May had 30 points, 15 rebounds.
Yeah, he was. With Zion in the game, that doesn't happen, but.
Well, I mean, Bolden was in foul trouble too.
Right. You know.
But I don't think it. Like I said, I thought they were going to lose regardless.
That is a bold statement. But
you
were on the winning side of this, so I can't.
They did not shoot threes well at all.
No.
Trey Jones
was like 1 for 11.
He had 3 points. He had 3 points with 8 rebounds. I give him the credit for being a point guard with 8 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean.
But come on, dude. You only had 5 assists.
Well, I mean, as soon as Zion went out, you could feel that. They
kind of did. The first 36 seconds, they didn't look good, though.
Right.
North Carolina was kind of running the first 30 seconds.
Right.
I think Zion got the ball. He's going to slow it down. He's going to turn. And then the famous shoe blowout, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we should get it for the show.
Yeah.
We should try to get that shoe.
We should get the shoe again instead of right.
I mean, after that, though, I think it really turned into the Barack Obama game.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I
wonder how disappointed he was.
I don't know if he was disappointed because, man, he looked pretty good in that jacket.
He did look
44?
great in the jacket. He did look
44,
man?
man? Are you kidding me?
He did look great.
Man, he looked like Jay-Z.
He did look like Jay. He looked like a bag of money, baby.
Yes. Yeah, he looked so good. And, could you imagine people that sat next to him?
Yeah.
Could you imagine,
absolutely.
like, hey, I'll buy you a hot dog.
I will buy you anything you want.
Yeah, just to say, I would have. I'd been like, you know what? I'm going to buy you a beer.
Yeah.
Just because, you know what? I could say I bought the president a beer.
Absolutely. And did you hear the story about when he played at North Carolina? He played a scrimmage at North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Before presidency, right?
Yeah. And the guy guarding him was like guarding him pretty tough. And Coach Williams was like, "Come here." And he's like, "You see those guys in those suits over there? You might want to slow down."
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. What does he do when he has to go to the bathroom? What does he do? Like, the whole Secret Service have to go with him?
I feel like maybe like if he goes into a stall, maybe he'll go into the stall and then the Secret Service will come in behind him and like face the.
Well, I would hope that there's a private bathroom.
Yeah.
That he could went to.
Right.
Because when he walked out, he walked right out the back,
right.
very discreetly. He was signing autographs, slapping hands.
So they got troughs at
pretty old.
Oh yeah.
It only holds like 9,000 people.
I would think that's. Do you think he has a private bathroom?
I mean,
I
feel like Coach K has a private bathroom.
Right, yeah, I think so too. So if Coach K gets one, of course Obama gets one.
Maybe Obama used Coach K's.
That's true. I think Coach K would let him.
I would hope.
Yeah.
I would hope.
So, while we're on the topic of Duke and North Carolina, more specifically Duke, there's a whole Zion thing about him.
Yeah.
Should he sit out the rest of the season? Should he sit out the rest of the season? What do you think?
In my opinion, no, because I don't think he's really that hurt.
Grade level 1 sprain in his knee.
Obviously, I think him playing college showed it helped his draft stock because coming in, R.J. Barrett was the guy where we looked at. He's number 1 pick.
Right.
He's number 1 overall player, and I think R.J. Barrett proved that. Maybe by scoring 33 points, he kind of took that back with 13 rebounds.
Yeah.
But I think no, he should because we talked about it before. These kids don't have ties to their schools anymore. I mean, back in the day, you had ties to your school. Yeah. The Grant Hill Leitners, where they won.
Absolutely.
Like, what?
Duke.
You think of Duke, you
boys.
think of those guys. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you don't think of those guys, but he has so much to do from a legacy standpoint.
Right.
He could put his name up there with the guys that came in and won in a year.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis's, the Jaleel Okafor's at Duke. You know what I mean? I think he should definitely play. As long as he's not that hurt, which I don't think he is.
Exactly. And if he's not that hurt and you're sitting him out because of the potential of him getting hurt, I don't see him telling RJ, Trey Jones, hey, I'm going to sit the rest of the season out.
And how do they look at it? RJ Barrett's like, you know what? I'm probably the number 2 pick. I'm going to sit out too.
Right.
And I don't.
Exactly.
Maybe if it was a different coach, I think with Coach K, they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
They're not going to.
Well, that's what he said when they were losing. Who did they have that big comeback against?
Louisville.
Yeah, when they were losing to Louisville, Coach K said, I don't coach losers. I coach winners.
Exactly.
And I think that, and Zion mentioned that in the post-game interview, and I think that really hit somewhere for Zion. I do not. I think people who are telling him that he should sit out are soft, and I don't think he's soft.
Well,
I think Zion is not soft.
And that's the thing. It's like, oh, you're making him tougher by. No, he doesn't have to play to be tougher.
No,
We've obviously proved that. You can't tell me that he didn't want to play in that North Carolina.
Absolutely. Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? I think adrenaline kind of wore off for him, and he's like, I really can't. He's the type of guy that he probably won't go to his 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of like LeBron. I don't want to play unless I'm 100%.
Exactly. Until I can play it.
Unless I can, yes. But I think he should play. There's nothing that says he shouldn't. And right now, even though they lost, championship's pretty much in their bag.
Even without Zion, I think their odds were 2-5 still.
Yeah. I mean, they're still a good team.
Right.
But he just puts it up to the top.
And again, the inside presence was just missing during the game.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think once they get Zion back, who is the inside presence for the Duke team, I think that they will be quite successful in the tournament and throughout.
They played Carolina last game of the year.
Yeah.
I think they'll blow Carolina up.
Yeah.
I think this, for me, when I picked North Carolina, it was just a perfect storm. I thought, they're undefeated on the road in ACC play. They're just going to come in there and win. And, they did it. But I think the last game that they play against North Carolina, they're going to blow them.
Yeah.
It will not even. Even though you're playing in North Carolina, I don't think it will be a close game.
I mean, especially taking this loss.
Exactly. Well, and you lose Zion, so it's going to be like, Zion wants to come back. He's going to.
And he's going to prove that he is the difference maker.
Yes.
And I wish if they do blow out North Carolina, I think that'll make him the no doubt for the number 1 pick.
Well, I mean, you can kind of argue it. I mean, me and Colin talked, about it a little bit. But we might take R.J. Barrett.
Right.
Based on the fact that I think he's he can shoot a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
He's a better all-around game. But, I mean, like I said, I think that's the other sad part. And it was kind of fun to kind of see, not Zion get hurt, obviously, but him to kind of leave the game.
And see how Duke is without him.
And you actually started hearing more about these other guys.
Right, yeah.
It wasn't, look at Zion. You actually were like, wow, talk about Cam Rush a little bit. Oh, yeah, R.J. Barrett. Trey Jones, the Diallo kid that came off the bench.
Yeah.
Like, you heard more about these guys.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
Mm-hmm, I agree.
I'm not taking away from what Zion does. He's great.
Well, I mean, everyone was ready for the Zion Williamson show.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's when you hear about him all the time. You're like, well, what else do they have?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And then just real fast, just a real quick one. So Zion is probably the best player in college.
Yes.
So I know you've heard of Ja Morant.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's that number 2 guy, or do you think maybe RJ is the number? I mean, I don't see Ja getting picked second in the draft, but skill level, do you think he's the second best player?
No, I think.
You don't think he is?
I think RJ Barrett is.
You think RJ Barrett
is? For sure. And there might be more guys than Ja Morant.
Right, exactly.
I would probably even take Cam Rush over Ja Morant.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just think he's good.
I think he's good too. He's got a real Russell Westbrook kind of game.
Yes, but it's just on the fact that if I can have a guy who's very defined,
go ahead, Coach K as a coach.
Exactly. That a guy that he probably could have won right out of high school. Probably have been drafted top 5 in last year's draft. And we talked about him. He's the number 1 pick.
Right.
I would take him over.
Right.
Let's move on to the bounce back game for Duke this weekend.
Yeah,
Syracuse. A lot of stuff happened yesterday with Syracuse. Jim Boeheim. ESPN College Game Day has already said they are not going to make it. They're going to do their show from the studio.
Right.
Zion won't play. Boeheim said today he's going to come out. He's going to coach.
Right.
Syracuse is trying to break the record for most people watching a college basketball game. I got strong feelings about it on why ESPN not being there and stuff.
Right.
What's your take on it?
Well, so my biggest thing is Jim is coaching, but if he didn't, when do you come back? Was my biggest point.
We talked about that, and it was like, you want to come back to the ACC tournament?
Right.
Be like, hey guys, I'm back.
Right.
I've been watching.
This is something he's never gonna get.
It's a very sad situation.
Right.
It is horrifying for that family.
Right. And for Coach Boeheim.
Exactly. Well, he's always going to think about it. He's always going to have in the back of his mind the date. What was it? Like February 2019,
yeah,
20th, February 20th.
Yeah.
He's always going to have that in his mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think he's been kind of a coach that he's dealt with adversity very well.
Yeah.
They take away his wins. He dealt with it very well.
Right.
This he's doing with, I think, great.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a horrible situation.
I mean, it just shows he's one of the best coaches in the NCAA.
If you, like you said, if you can't move on from it now, when are we going to?
If it bothers him so much that he can't coach, is it going to stop bothering him in a week or a month? Like, when do you come back?
and he's not getting any charges.
Right, because he didn't do anything wrong.
I think possibly he might get sued from the family, which, I mean, that's probably going to happen.
Right.
Potentially, obviously. But he did everything right, cooperated with the cops. It didn't have any alcohol in his system. That was the first thing that went through my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe he was drunk or something, yeah.
But he did everything right. So why should we have to tell him, you know what? You can't have the choice. We're going to sit you. But no, I love it how he's coming out. Now, ESPN on game day, terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
Terrible.
And you have very strong feelings about this, so I'm going to let you
I mean, why would you tell them, look, we're going to come Saturday, you're playing Duke, we're going to help you hopefully break this record, we'll have this whole day, it'll be great, and then this happens? To me, I understand it's a sickening thing, it's very bad for that family, but if he can get over it, if Boeheim can get over it, I think ESPN should have the courage to go there.
Well, I mean, and SportsCenter hasn't stopped talking about it.
No.
So it's kind of hypocritical of them to not have college game day because of this, but talk about it around the clock.
Well, exactly. You're talking about it all the time, but game day's not going to be there. We're going to be in the studio. I'm just disgusted.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Because, I mean, you had this Syracuse probably had this whole fun day planned out. We're going to go to the Carrier Dome in the morning, game later in the night. So what's going to happen? What happens when ESPN gets there to film that game? If I'm a Syracuse fan, I boo them. As soon as those guys, step in and sit down and do the broadcast, why weren't you here?
Right.
You ruined a fun day for us as a university.
Oh.
You hurt us. It's not more, I understand, well, Jim Boeheim, I understand. Okay, you can hurt Boeheim, just don't have him on, don't say his name.
Right.
But you're going to hurt Syracuse?
Right.
That's not right to me.
Yeah, and of course, this is a horrible thing that happened,
Yes.
but to not have game day there because of this is, I don't even think Boeheim doesn't care if they're there or not. Boeheim, this is more for the university.
Exactly.
It's more for the
it's
fans.
For the school, the fans, the players.
Exactly.
Man, remember when
Coach K and Boeheim doesn't care.
No, they don't care. Duke's been on game day a lot this year.
Right.
I don't think Duke cares, but it's more Syracuse. Look, we had this great win against Louisville.
Right.
This terrible thing happened. It's kind of like ESPN's like wants them kind of sift through the weeds and slowly get out of it. And Boeheim's like, no, we got to hit this hard, and we have to state the fact that, look, it happened. It's sad, but we kind of have to pick back up. We got to keep going with it.
I agree. Yeah.
Cass Hobbs basketball tonight. They're going for the conference title.
Yeah.
They play Hartford.
Yep.
I think they're going to score 100.
Yeah,
I've said this all year. I wanted them to score 100 points. I think tonight they're going to score 100 points. Ricky needs to let him loose.
Yeah. let the boys go.
Yeah, let them loose.
Yeah, I don't see them losing this game. I don't know anything about Hartford, but even when
Hartford's always plays tough.
They're a physical team. They're a tough team, but they're not as athletic. They're not as good at basketball as the Cass. Sorry, I have to take myself on this. As Cassopolis is. So
well, I think the only thing they can do is slow us down.
Right.
Maybe change our pace, but
they're gonna play a zone, which is probably what Cass has seen all season.
But once we get a few steals,
it's off to the races. And they can't keep up.
It's the seniors' last game. They're gonna play there.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. I think we're gonna. It's 5 slam a jam out.
And it's gonna be. I don't know anything about this Hartford team this season. What I remember about them when I played last year, they had a decent sized guy, but Tayshaun is just he's like Zion, dude. He's just a big body down there.
And you have Brady.
And Brady, and that's a completely game changer.
Crazy.
And of course you still have Tyrese, which is.
There's many. I think Sirius dropped 16 last game.
Yeah,
come on.
This is gonna be.
They're starting to play great basketball at the right time.
Right. Yeah, and I think this is gonna be a huge win going into the playoffs.
I think we have a different district this year.
Yeah.
It should be very fun.
Yeah.
Let's stick with basketball. The Lakers last night. I thought the biggest news of the night was Space Jam 2. The release date for 2021.
Yeah.
I thought that was the biggest thing of the night, in my opinion, because I'd much rather watch that.
Yeah.
Because LeBron will actually like his teammates there, hopefully, and not try to trade them.
Yeah.
Maybe in the movie they do that.
I don't know. I don't think this was last night. I think it was the second time they played the Rockets, where he was screaming at everyone on the bench.
Well,
I'm not sure if that was last night or the night or the last time they played.
We've seen him this year kind of be like, whatever.
Right.
Not sitting by his teammates, but maybe he wants the Looney Tunes to play with him.
I think that's what he wants.
If that's what he really wants.
I think he wants Bugs Bunny running the one.
Yeah.
Daffy Duck on the wing with
Taz down low, tearing it up.
Taz down low.
Being a little Zion. No, but they come back 29 points, right?
It was 19 points. 19 LeBron had 29.
All right, yeah, 19. Yeah, LeBron had 29.
I mean, well, when they talked to D'Antoni, how do you say his last name? Rockets coach.
D'Antonio.
Yeah, D'Antonio. When they talked to him, he was. I kind of agree with the point he made that they're a fast-paced three-point shooting team. When the shots aren't going in, you're gonna have big leads blown.
Well, I mean, they're a team kind of like the Warriors that win and die by the throw.
Right.
But I think it was. I mean, LeBron talked about this. I'm activating my playoff mode. Now I actually have to play.
Right. Now I actually have to play.
You know, I don't think if LeBron would have came out and won this game, I think it would have looked bad because when you're coming, I remember I saw a video. He threw the ball right out of bounds, trying to throw a lob to nobody, and the captain said LeBron playoff activated. He had 29 points. They came back, great win. Brandon Ingram played good, but it's how consistent he's going to be. Right. We don't know. Kuzma obviously he's always a solid player in my opinion. James Harden still dropped 30, but the Lakers have a lot to figure out in a very short amount of time.
Right. They have to win games.
I predicted that they were going to win 17 of the last 26.
Right.
They were going to go 17-8 or something like that.
Right.
And I thought they were going to lose last night. Well, they won, but they lose the games they should win. Right. And they win the games we don't think they should win. Right. Christmas Day against the Warriors, we thought there's no way. Yeah. There's no way they're going to
And especially with LeBron getting injured in that game.
You're like, there's no way, and they still won. I know they got Josh Hart back. Yeah. It's going to be tough for them to make the playoffs. I think if LeBron doesn't make the playoffs, it looks really bad on him. Yeah. Especially just the way he's held this whole year. He's not, to me, he's a completely different LeBron.
I think this is the first year we've seen him regress. This is the first year where I think he's not as good as he was last year.
And the way that he deals with the media. Right. And his teammates. And it feels like he's just there. It feels like he's there for more of the barbershop, the Looney Tune, the Space Jam movies, the productions he has.
I think he's got a thing on an album now, too.
Yeah, it feels like he's there in LA for that, and then I'll just go play basketball. Right. Because that's what I do, but I want to slowly move on. But if he does not win at all while he's here in this 3-4 years he's here, that's going to look really bad.
Well, and I think that would you say that this Lakers team is better than the team he had last year with the Cavs?
Yes, I would say so. I would say so.
And, he got them to the finals.
Well, that was in the Eastern Conference.
Right, that's true.
But still, that team would have made the playoffs.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. He has to, at the very least, make the playoffs.
Yeah, I was listening to a show yesterday, Tiki and Tierney was talking about it. He said, I want LeBron too. I want him to make the playoffs, but be the 8th seed and get swept by the Warriors and be embarrassed. That would be bad. He's not happy with LeBron at all. Just, I think on the way he's been this year. It's weird because we always look at LeBron, he's great with the media. Right. Great with teammates.
Absolutely.
Great with everybody. This year he's not been that.
Well, I understand that it's frustrating being with young players who are inexperienced. Back in the Heat days, you saw him, Chris Bosh, getting after Mario Chalmers.
But these kids can play.
Right.
This is his best young core of players he's ever had. And it's like he thought, maybe after 2 practices, I don't think you guys can play at all. You know what? I'm just going to write you guys off. Right. And they're walking on eggshells. They're thinking, well, we only have 25 games left. Right. And then we're going to be out of here.
Well, I think the biggest thing is when LeBron, what I think his mind is right now is, all right, well, once the season's over, I'm going to have to start recruiting. Well, and it's not hard to get people to come to Los Angeles.
Well, it might be this year. I think it's going to be really tough.
Well, Anthony Davis, I don't think
he'll come. It's just, do they get him in a trade or does he come in free agency? Right. But if he gets traded to a team like the Celtics, and they go far. Say they make the finals, and they lose.
I think they will.
They lose in 7 games. Right. And he's on that team. You think he's leaving? No. Is Kyrie going to come back and play with them? No. Kyrie's going to go either New York or he's going to stay in Boston.
Yeah, I would be. He is so.
He's so wishy-washy. You never really know. He's always been like that. But I think Kyrie's not kind of like, well, I want to win. And if he really wants to win, I think he stays in Boston.
Well, I would argue that the Boston's coach is one of the best.
He might be. I would argue he is the best coach. Right. I think Pop's kind of gone downhill. Yeah. But that's because he doesn't have the
He doesn't have the time. I mean,
it's tough, but they are in the playoffs, so you gotta give pop to that.
Right. Yeah.
And the other thing is, if say Kevin Durant leaves Golden State, you think Klay's gonna leave Golden State then? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's gonna be very tough for them to get a star.
Yeah, I mean that's the issue is, all right, if Kevin Durant leaves, what's Klay gonna do?
Exactly, because I think Klay will wait until to see what Kevin Durant does, because Klay's gonna think I was here before. I really like it here. We win. I don't have to do a lot. And I know the system. And me and Steph know how to play together.
Right.
Maybe he gets with LeBron and LeBron passes my ball. He's like, this is not how I like it. You know what
I mean, it just seems like people, whenever they play with LeBron, they end up just hating it.
Which is it's bizarre.
Right.
Because you would look at him the way he plays, but I think he's very demanding on teammates.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Michael Jordan was demanding on teammates, but Mike could, I think, trust teammates a little bit more than LeBron.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest problem. LeBron doesn't really trust his teammates.
Well, I mean, especially having a guy like Steve Kerr on a team with Jordan. Steve Kerr is not really even an athlete. And
the only real time I think LeBron trusted his teammates was when he was in Miami.
Yeah, when he had two top 10 players.
At the time, they were arguably top
5. Yeah, absolutely.
No, I think it's going to be really hard. And if you don't get Anthony Davis in a trade, which I don't think they are going to, because someone's going to up their package.
Right.
Maybe it could be the Clippers. Maybe it could, obviously the Celtics. But who else are you going to get? You going to get Bradley Beal, or are you going to
If you don't get Anthony Davis, I don't see them going after Kevin Durant.
I don't think Kevin Durant's going to want to come play with
LeBron.
Exactly. Because right now they're like here kind of.
Right.
And Kevin Durant just wants to go here.
Right.
And if he knows if he goes and plays with LeBron, he's only going to help LeBron's case too.
Right. And so without Anthony Davis, I would think the next person would be Klay Thompson to go after.
I would too. I think more a trade, for them, because just on the fact that I don't think Big Free is going to want to come play there. Yeah. And the other thing is, I think they're having a new coach.
Yeah.
So how does that dynamic fit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So obviously, LeBron, everywhere he goes, I need a new coach. The only reason Eric Spoelstra wasn't fired in Miami is because Dwayne Wade said, no, dude, this guy can go.
Yeah.
Because LeBron wanted him fired.
I mean, it's just because LeBron is what makes LeBron so good is he's a genius. He's a basketball genius.
To some degree.
Well, why I say he's a genius is that his photogenic memory, he just sees things and immediately can react to it.
Sometimes it comes back to bite him in the ass, and this year it did.
Yeah.
That's why I said sometimes, because sometimes he's so great with it, and then sometimes it hurts him. Because he thought this trade was going to get done, and it didn't.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
I mean, obviously, there's going to be a lot of changes. That's going to be the team that everybody looks at.
Right. And I think if he does not make the playoffs, this throws the GOAT talk out of the window.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we would talk about it. My opinion, why Jordan's going 6 for 6. Understand? If he didn't go 6 for 6, the argument's bigger.
Oh, Jordan never missed the playoffs.
He did.
I mean, you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, I know. Not when he shouldn't.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like he didn't. This LeBron made the finals with the worst team. I understand they're in Eastern Conference, but he still made the finals.
Yeah.
He still had to go against good teams.
But I think LeBron's better, but the only reason the argument gets closed, and the big thing everybody says 6 for 6.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, look, obviously LeBron can't go for the 6 for 6.
No.
Jordan can't. You can't take away the 6 for 6. But it's just crazy because when it's all said and done, LeBron's got more points, more assists, and more rebounds, and he's going to have played longer.
Well, how far is he from the points?
I think he's only like 100 points away from something like
from
that.
Jordan.
I think so. Or he's very close.
Right.
And I think obviously rebounds and assists he's going to have more.
Yeah, I would agree.
But, it's going to turn into LeBron, I think, is so great. I think he's also hurt himself in his career.
I think that he is the best all-around basketball player we have ever seen. I do not think he is the best basketball player we have ever seen. I think Kobe's a better basketball player than he is. I think Jordan's a better basketball player. I would even say Tim Duncan is a better basketball player than him.
LeBron is just a freak athlete.
He could do anything and be good at it.
He could do anything. He could play water polo.
Exactly, and he'd be a phenomenal water polo.
That's just how he is. Because, we talk about he's great at defense.
He's great.
That's athletic ability.
He's great.
We talk about he's not very good on offense or he's not gifted like that.
Yeah,
he's never really had to do
He's not the shooter. He's not the scorer in the obviously he can pretty much drive to the basket at will. That's just because he's so fast, he's so strong. But Jordan and Kobe could just make these phenomenal shots.
They're better fundamentally.
Yes, and like we talked about last podcast. Basketball is such a practice this 1,000 times and get good at it. LeBron, I mean, of course he's practiced 1,000 times, but
I mean, we've seen his game evolve.
Right? Yeah.
Low post now.
I remember when, especially when he
was it the Heat. He couldn't play any low post.
Exactly.
Couldn't play any low post. He couldn't do it, so he wouldn't do it. Which Jordan didn't do it there in the beginning either. No, great discussion obviously with LeBron and Jordan, but I foresee them getting in the playoffs. They're going to squeeze in my opinion, the Lakers.
Then if they all I'm asking for LeBron is just make the playoffs.
I mean, that's what you want to see, because I want to see 4 more games. I want to see how these young kids play in the playoffs.
Right, and if you get swept by Golden State, it's because your team is not as good as Golden State.
But the way they played against Golden State, maybe they might win a game.
Right. Yeah, getting eliminated.
Because they could have won a game against Golden State last year.
Right. I just don't see them winning 4 games against Golden State in the playoffs.
No, I don't think so. They might win 1.
Right. Yeah, and if just getting eliminated by them, yeah, whatever. You're gonna try to recruit people in free agency. You're gonna whatever. You're gonna try to get better. This isn't. I don't think LeBron expected to win the finals this year.
No, but I think he expected to get in the playoffs to be a top half. I think he expected to have home advantage.
Home court advantage, yeah.
For part of it.
But
he got hurt. They were on that thing. He got hurt. All right. Last thing, big news. We'll move to baseball now. Manny Machado with the Padres.
You called it. You said this week.
Yeah, I said this week. I said this week for him and Harper.
Harper's still waiting.
Obviously, we don't know, but we'll talk about Manny because he signed 10 years, $300 million, biggest free agent contract in North American sports, second biggest in baseball history. Obviously, the Stanton deal was $325, but I think Manny really looked at it, and we're all going to say Manny chased the money. In my opinion, I don't think he did.
This is a great young team.
Well, they're going to get better.
Yeah.
Obviously, they won only 66 games, but they have the number 2 prospect to play. He's going to play shortstop, probably maybe this year, after about a month or 2. Manny said he's already going to play third. And you say, well, he took the money. That's a lot of money, yeah. But I think he's kind of looking and saying, I took the money, but we could win.
I think that the Padres, they have enough money to maybe go after, maybe not a huge name, but another guy that could be a game changer.
Maybe Dallas Keuchel for pitching. Craig Kimbrell, bring him back because he was with San Diego years ago.
Right.
But I think the other thing is, I can get paid $300 million without the pressure.
Yeah.
He's not going to be in big time games for these probably first 3 years.
Yeah.
All his antics that he does, you'll see him.
Hustling,
you'll see him, but they won't be right there. You're like, wow. No, it's a tough division, but I don't think, obviously, money. Who's going to turn down $300 million? I don't think anybody.
Right. And this is what I wanted. I'm so glad I remember this. What annoyed me so much is the White Sox throwing a freaking fit over.
Well, here's the thing. I heard that with the incentives and everything over 10 years, it was $340.
Right.
Manny looked at it and he said, well, if you're not giving me a ground pat, 10 years, $300, I'm taking it. And I think the best thing for this contract is after 5 years, you can opt out. You can opt out that, you know what, the market, say Trout in 2 years gets $450 million, which I think a lot of people will pay that.
Yeah, absolutely.
For Mike Trout, I would. I'd pay
$500
million for him. Say the market goes up and Manny has 5 great years at third base. Mm-hmm. And say he hits an average 35, drives in 110. Manny can go, you know what, San Diego? I came here when you guys were bad. We're starting to get a little bit better. Pay me my money. I want 40. I think he can get it.
Well, and
it'll only be 31.
Right. And I think that the decision could be as simple as this. Why would he want to play in Chicago and not San Diego?
That's the other thing. And the other thing we talked about, he wants to play on the East Coast, obviously with his heritage Miami and everything close. Chicago went out and got his brother-in-law, one of his best friends. I don't think that mattered to Manny. I honestly, look, to me, the White Sox are farther away from winning than the Padres.
I agree.
The Padres made the big deal last year with Hosmer, who's a Miami kid.
Right. And
he looked at it and he said, well, I could get 340, but I have to do all this. Nothing's really guaranteed. What if I get hurt? And, say he doesn't do good after 5 years. He becomes an average baseball player.
Still guaranteed money.
He's still guaranteed for another 5 years by opting in.
Right.
So he was like, you know what? I'll take $300 million and I'll play. The White Sox, their assistant president he had his glasses on. He couldn't even talk without his glasses.
I am pissed.
Yeah, he was we're so shocked by this. You really thought Manny Machado
was going to want to come play
It's not like they're the first team in Chicago. They're the second team in Chicago.
Yeah.
You're looked at behind the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
You're not looked at as the best team.
Mm-mm.
You're looked at second fiddle.
Yeah.
And
I don't blame him for not wanting to play in Chicago.
And the other thing is, the Yankees blew this.
Yeah.
They blew this by making that Stanton deal a year ago.
Right.
This makes Derek Jeter, in my opinion, look smart now.
Right, yeah.
Because we're talking about Derek Jeter made the trade, go to the Yankees, it wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
Stanton is going to be half the player Machado is. He's going to be half the player Harper is.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? The Yankees don't have enough money to go and get either of them.
Well, I think at the time, Giancarlo was a huge deal.
It was a huge deal. We looked at it, we were like,
let's
wait.
Yeah.
But what happens towards the end?
Right.
It's never, these deals never really work out. So you're like, well, he's only a power hitter, strikes out a lot. He's driving a lot of runs. He played in a tough ballpark in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they would have taken that deal back now.
I think so. I mean,
if you would have told them, look, you can get Harper and possibly Machado for $60 million a year.
Yeah.
For those two.
Right.
Come on, they would have done it all day because you're paying $325 million to Stanton when you could have got Harper for $325 million.
Right.
You could have got Harper maybe. Yeah, I heard he's turned down multiple $300 million offers, but you could have got him for $315.
Right.
It's just, to me, I don't know. The Yankees are different now. I think obviously moving forward and the way that they're thinking, we want to stay under the tax. But we talked about it. The Red Sox won with the most money in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Why are teams not looking at that? And that's why John Heyman at first when Manny got signed, he said don't rule out the Padres. I think now he said slowly they're pretty much done. The Nats don't want Harper back,
which is super interesting because that's where we said he was going to go.
I thought he was because of the fact that it came on that he wasn't very comfortable maybe going with Philly. He got the $300 million offer, but I guess he hasn't talked to Nationals in weeks.
So do you think that this was a mutual agreement, or do you think the Nationals pulled out?
Well, I feel like after he didn't accept it, the Nationals were kind of like, we don't need him anymore. Yeah, he's a face of the franchise. But you know what? We're going to move on.
So do you think that there was a chance? Like, say that they don't. Say that they're like, whatever. We'll keep trying to get Bryce Harper. Do you think that there's still a chance that Bryce Harper would go to the Nationals?
Yes.
Or so it's okay. That right. So then that's what they. It wasn't like Bryce Harper was like, no, I don't want to.
No, he was. He basically turned down saying, "Can I look at other offers?"
Exactly.
The Nationals got pissed, and then he didn't call him for a few weeks because they probably didn't come back. And
with a better offer.
They didn't keep coming. Hey, still got $300 million here, still got $300 million here. He's getting other teams. It's looking like the Phillies, but to me, it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. They're talking about maybe the Giants moving in on it.
That would be interesting.
But the Giants are a little far away from winning.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm the Phillies, I don't sign them, and I wait out for Trout. That's just me. Even though you could have them both, but do you want to pay? You could pay pretty much $100 million for two players.
Right.
I don't know about it. And you have young players you're obviously going to pay. And there's going to be a lot of guys, I think, the next few years that they're going to be up there for the $100 million, 100 years, $300 million deals. So if I'm the Phillies, I wait on Trout. I just do that.
I agree. Yeah.
But it's looking like they want him the most. I think Harper's going to go there.
Yeah, it's hard to not want such a great player like Bryce Harper, and it's kind of hard to see, to be like, all right, we'll wait this out for Trout.
Well, and the other thing is, if he's turning down these $300 million offers, there's got to be an offer out there that's better.
Right.
And this might open up the window, and they've talked about this might open up a window for a team to come and say, oh, we need you for $325.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to come and get you for $325.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you're a team out there that's really looking for a great player, you have some money maybe, you want to upstart your rebuild a little bit. I guess the White Sox are out, which is dumb to me. I'd go after Harper just as much as I went after Manny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if you're going to pay Manny $340, get the same deal to Harper. I feel like he's going to take it. I don't know. To me, it's dumb because he to me, he's the second face of baseball behind Mike Trout.
Mike Trout, yeah.
And he's only 26. He's going into prime.
Yeah.
I would pay him $35 a year.
Right. This could be the best season he's had.
Exactly. It's just tough. It's so dumb to me that you're so afraid to pay these guys big money. It's dumb. But I think with Manny getting $300, Bryce is going to get over that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Pretty much going to wrap it up for us.
Yeah, that's all we got on.
Yeah, pretty much. Us and our friend Mike here. We're gonna wrap it up. Guys in Jerseys podcast number 5. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Peace.